This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, July 25th, 2024. Let's go. Again, if you are not a part of the Discord room, what are you doing? Some great trades, folks. Thank you guys, Jay, Eric, and H, all y'all posting. Man, traders market. Let's give it a minute for folks to pop in, but I have to really express to people the big ideal in shorting, long, whatever, no understanding how the VIX, all of this stuff works, because it's not simple. And the people who watch all day are the ones who are the target of misrepresentation, traps, big, intraday traps, moves. Because again, the higher the VIX, people think volatility. They go, oh, volatility's up. Volatility's up means the market's going down. It's like, no. Not necessarily. It typically does, but it means volatility means market moving up and down. Up and down. Volatility. Think of volatility, rate of change, greater, up, changing, up and down. Folks just do not get that. And it's not, the end of the world, but until you've been trading long enough, that's what you realize. The more you're up, the less you own. Trade around your positions, manage them, because again, you don't know when the bottoms will be. Maybe it's a short-term, intermittent bottom. Maybe it's a long-term. You never freaking know. And if you never take profits aren't real until realized, as I like to say. So, again, letting a few folks roll in. Whew. Wow. Interesting day. I'm not surprised it rallied back, honestly. Some of the pain in the morning for some of the tech names were very near-term capitulatory, or at least need to work off oversold conditions. So if you're surprised by the bounce, then this is the call that you need to listen to. So again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. Again, posting all of our trades on the Twitter. If you are looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and you have not reached out, what are you doing? I am your guy. Let me help you find an amazing agent. I'm telling you, don't talk to just your Uncle Bobby or your neighbor. Work with somebody that is a freaking pro. Again, if you had lawyer issues, you needed to deal with law, would you get a mediocre lawyer? If you had health issues, would you go to a mediocre doctor? Why would you just go to someone that's recommended just by a neighbor? Talk to multiple people. Let me put you in touch with one. If you work with an agent that I am recommending, you get 2 for the price of 1. I also advise on all the processes. And if you don't know, my skills in negotiating, helping get people figured out with whether they're investing, buying, or selling, that's what I bring to the table. I'll help you manage that whole position. Now, what do? You have 2 agents, we're dialoguing. Again, you never feel like you're not heard. And I think that's the difference. Sometimes when you work with a shitty agent, excuse my language, they just kind of railroad you through certain things. They make you feel certain ways. They don't explain things. They don't give you the depth of knowledge that you want, because they don't have the depth of knowledge. They're just flying by the seat of the pants. They do one deal every month or every year, and they keep their license out. I mean, I've seen some crazy stories. Check out the website. Do me a favor, subscribe to the updates. I'm going to start dropping them. If I get more people signing up for this, I will absolutely go deeper on some of the trades. I'll do what I used to do. A lot of y'all know this. I used to have like a weekly email where I would rip through all the trades and all the charts, weekly, monthly, dailies, and I would send it out. And it took me a couple hours to put through, but I used to do it for myself as a reference. And I'm probably start that again. I mean, I think if Eric's on here, I used to see it. It was a long PDF. It wasn't a PDF, but it was a Word doc. Again, I would cut and paste the pictures, because again, I can take screenshots and pull it and boom, 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 boom. Anyway, yep, check out the website. Also, too, back to basics. Yep, you remember that, Eric? Yep. I'm going to start doing that again. And I think sometimes it's good to have that as a copy, just to all right, well, this is a reference. This is a reference. And I know we can post stuff in the Discord room. Again, if you're not following, yes, I'm posting the trades, posting ideas, thoughts, processes, right? So there's plenty on there. And again, we'll review it all here anyway. Again, if you're newer to the trading, you're not watching the education videos, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, and I think this is the thing, Eric. You've been doing this long enough too. You get it's if you're not studying and doing work off hours. Think about any professional. If you want to be a pro basketball player, did they ever stop practicing? Did they ever stop learning? Did they ever stop Did they just get comfortable and go, well, I've achieved mastery? No. Same thing in trading. You never really arrive. It's always learning. The market is a constant teacher. And if you think you figured it out, that's when it will slap you upside the head and hit you over with the basically a hammer. Like, no. All right, so let's just get into it. Enough time. Appreciate it again. If you have questions, drop in the Discord room or in the chat. We know, again, next week, there's not a Fed cut, y'all. It's not priced in. Zero. Again, you need to be over 60%. 62.3% is actual the number, which is, I know this, we're like, how do you get this number? It's like, that's the long term. The Feds have never raised rate, have never done anything that didn't have at least a 63% probability. If it was 50-50, they did nothing. If it was less than that, just 50, 40, 30, whatever, 10, no. Their job is not to surprise the market. Their job is to literally front run the market, tell everyone exactly what they're going to do, because when they don't do that, and again, I can't remember a time they have, people just like, they lose credibility. And so they don't want to lose credibility, right? It's like the CIA. They don't, Secret Service, they don't want to lose credibility. Bitcoin, I feel like it's not updated. Sorry, it always does this. It's so freaking annoying. I used to have and again, Eric, you're around. You remember we used to have the 5th largest room on TradingView, the volume price analysis room, and then they cut us off. That was funny. That was so funny. Bunch of idiots. Ding. Yeah, Bitcoin. Again, this is like gold, all these things. You can't trust it till the Feds actually pivot. And we know that the first pivot, sorry, just so if you're new, you're following. Yeah. No, they hated us winning. Here's the first cut. It wasn't even about winning. It was like trying to get them to understand gold. I mean, it's just silly. So silly. Again, if I was think about this, Eric, and this is me reminiscing. If we were on whatever the stupid platform is, TradingView, and talking about our gold positions, they would absolutely be losing their nuts. They're like, no, go long. And I really think, again, I've told you guys this, all platforms are trying to take your money. Think about it. I'm not here trying to take your money. I appreciate donations. I appreciate any generous help. But no, I don't ask you. I'm not rigging the game against you. I'm not trying to take money from you in a sense of no value. There should be value provided. So Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, it's just, we talked about silver. Here, I'll just jump right to silver. Like, this is what I was telling you. Like, you can't really trust the metals, Bitcoin, in my opinion, if these names look like shiznit. And here you go. Silver's been trading in a range. Boom, broke it today. I'm like, uh-oh. Now, either this could be a bear trap near term and it could rally, but silver should be over 28, 29, especially if gold is just going to be cooking, right? Oops, cooking with gas. We talked about bear, bull trap, 50-day, trend lines. There's all sorts of crap here. Honestly, we've talked about it. Don't chase. Here you go, coming back. Yes, useless indicators that I don't have on my charts, and you shouldn't either. I tell people that all the time. So again, stuff that seems like it should be risk on, Fed cutting, pivoting, is not acting well. Again, Japan overnight, I think, got blown out of their currency. They were selling gold and silver. I say this all the damn time, and I don't mean to say it because I'm arrogant or trying to push a narrative. Guys, girls, ladies, friends, homies, dinosaurs, cats, anyone who's listening. They throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that saying is really true. Think about it. Like, the Bank of Japan is liquidating assets to do what? Stabilize a currency. Well, what do you think might be happening in institutions, hedge funds, whatever institution holding us out going, we need to raise capital. What do we sell? Do we sell the crap that's already been destroyed, or do we start selling some stuff that's strong so that we can raise liquidity, pay out redemptions, meet margin calls, whatever you want to call it? That's what happens. And so that's where the baby out with the bathwater idea comes from. Oil, we talked about. Hurricane, selling off, chopping around. I'm not surprised. Natural gas. Again, I don't want to be a dick, but there was someone really trolling on stock twits. It's like, you're missing the natural gas bottom. And I was just like, no, you're missing my point. Commodities and all of them. Again, if they bottom before the Fed's pivot, I will be impressed, because that's the thing. The pain has to come. The liquidity's not there. They're not providing, they're not bailing out companies yet. They're not bailing out the problems. And as we talk about, economic stuff is getting worse. Okay? It's getting worse. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Again, if you want to chat, drop the link, hit me up. How many of you guys, I know Eric, you guys, again, hit me up if you just want to chat and bullshit. I don't care. If there's some value that I can provide for you, let me know. And if there's I mean, something's like, oh, you should be compensated. I'm like, well, then again, donations. I don't force it. And again, if you're going to take 3 hours of my time, maybe, but for the most part, if you want to chat for 30 minutes, I have no problem, especially finding time, off hours. Just, hey, how can I help you? What do you need help with? Where's your mind at? What do you need? What are you struggling with? I've been there, done that. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite trade, the TLT. Look at that. We talked about this yesterday. Big red candles can lead to what? Traps. Now, it always seemed possible it could be a big gap down, right? Added a little yesterday, didn't add. And so now just kind of watching. And here's the thing. Look at, we have a 2-day range. It makes it so simple sometimes. Literally, right here, 92.85. You get over it, close over it. Again, close being the key. Key. Let me reinforce that. Coming back to the range highs. So if you took some stabs the last 2 days, feeling pretty good about UBT. Now, again, I would love to see it up at the 20 area, but whatever. Right? I don't mind buying it up near here. Kind of a dollar. Again, this is why you layer in. If you're not familiar with the whole process of probability-based trading, where you're layering into trades, not going, I'm all in, I'm all out, all in. And that is the point when we segue to like tech. We talked about, I said, hey guys, if you're not taking some profits in some of these names this morning, this is like, what are you doing? Right? NVIDIA goes from 124 down to 106. People are going, this is the bottom. I don't know. I just think you're just getting oversold rally. Now, again, we'll see what it looks like by the close of the day. So, like, again, if I had to guess, probably 110. That would be my guess. 110 or the 50-day. And if we close at the 50-day, my thinking is then the next day will definitely be a doji. If it's 110, then we might retest today's highs. Again, if you don't understand this stuff, ask questions. There's certain like reoccurring probabilities. I always tell people, play the guess the candle, next candle game. You will get real freaking good. And so that's my guess. If we close like somewhere like 110, I wouldn't be surprised at some point we run test the 114, 115. If we close at the 50-day, then tomorrow will probably be an indecision candle because the people who haven't sold will go, oh shit, we got a nice bounce. I don't want to see the 100-day, right? Makes sense? Caprice? Not caprice, but does it make sense? What did he say? I don't know. My brain's freaking fried. TSM, again, I'm just going to rally through some of these I was looking at. 100-day, talked about it, good. Micron said, watch the gap. Please mind the gap. Again, posted all this stuff. Capiche. Yes, why can't thank you. Blah, like brain. SMCI said, watch the range lows. Thought the 200-day was coming, but again, if you got anywhere near the lows, and if this is where it's like crucial, where again, I don't necessarily always show the 10-minute charts, but this is where I watch. Open, boom, 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 boom. Okay, this candle here is a trap. Once you could really clear over 681, are you surprised it rallied? Big green. Now again, up here at 705, you're gonna get tired for a little bit, chop. Now you're making new highs. But intraday also too, you have a little bit of choppy action forming. Again, this is where, again, if you want to day trade, go right ahead. I'm not huge on day trading. Again, I'd rather just swing certain names and then plow around in position sizing. Intel feels like 30's coming, but again, hey, you go from freaking 37 down to 31. I mean, you do the math on that. It's a 20% hit in 6-7 days. Is it due to chop around? Because you do have some earnings coming up. Just keep that in mind. Earnings is coming up. Right. So just be thoughtful. Come on, don't overthink this. Right. I was telling you guys, insight. How many people bought this and put this in their portfolio and said, I'm just not going to watch it? Told you guys the stock. Again, why do I know about it? Well, again, I know the formations. Also read the public information. I know folks in medicine. They're like, they make good stuff. They're going to get bought out at some point. You're welcome. Mid-cap size, pharmaceutical, enjoy. McDonald, again, I don't know. Where do I want to go? I feel like going in order is just not, if I go out of order, it's like I'm screwing everyone over. SPY, bing, oh, hello. 50-day, gap fill-ish. Again, I apologize. I didn't think we'd get there today. Look, there it is. The gap. Please mind the gap. Now, again, here's the thing about volatility. What does this mean? What's going to happen next? All these things. A lot of people are probably going to overthink the shit out of this. Excuse my language. Fill the gap, got to go back to the highs. Oh. Well, think about it. If you got trapped up here, you're probably looking for the 20-day. You could be watching here again. I'll just kind of draw this simply. Like, you're probably watching this as well. So these are your levels. Like, I'd be watching the 20-day and 548 level. Is today the bottom, right? No, not necessarily. Like, go back and review old. Like, here you go. You get a little oversold, you bounce. Oversold, bounce. Highly oversold, bounce a little bigger. And you begin it down. Do you see how a trend works? Right? Like, fast forward. Okay? In my opinion, if things are going to get worse, this is going to be a mild bounce. Could it last for a couple days? That's the question you have to ask yourself. That's where you have to go in your mind and go, all right, I'm not going to be gambling here, but I'm going to be probability based. I don't know why, but I'm going to wait for the end of the day. Meaning, like, if you're thinking like in your brain, just, you don't know why, how for sure. Why? Let's see what happens. Because if you close at the 50-day, because what if the trade is actually to buy the dip for another bounce? Or what if the trade is to wait for it to bounce to short? Do you see how we talk about let the trades come to you? Do you see the big difference here? Do you see the difference? It's instead of, I got to act right now. Well, the market's green. I'm up. I'll slap you through the screen. No. Know your ranges. Know the extremes where the risk reward is in your favor. If you're just trading to trade, you are going to lose. This is a casino, and they will take your damn money. Adrian Pansky said oil driller earlier. Let's get into oil one. XOP. What did we say? What did we say? We said watch the range lows. Seem to be holding. Right? Valero. I mean, will today sustain? That is a big green candle. Held the 200-day. If you've been trading and following the channel, you nailed that one. Nice. Very nice. MPC, a little laggard. I mean, they have more overseas action. Okay. ExxonMobil. I mean, I think Jay Soltis was saying this, that there was some call action at the 115 level. Okay. Well, maybe it's going right back to the highs. But here's the thing, which is so hard with longs. Please take profits. Don't promise anything to yourself. UNG, as I said, I hate the fucking. Oh God, I mean, I'm about to get aggressive. I'm like about to start fighting people. No, I don't like the UNG. I think it's a terrible product. But here we talked about let the KOLD pop, get into the 70s. I mean, ideally, I don't know if I'm even going to touch it until the 80s, upper 70s. But that's an easy short because again, if natural gas gets down to $1 something, give me more. Nom 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 nom. Apple, we talk about this. Said this yesterday, I said it a couple of days ago. Are you surprised that if this is the top, island floating reversal, gap down, here you go. Big red, 4 days. Does this make sense? Big red, 4 days, chop, chop, chop. Well, I'm pretty sure they have earnings next Thursday. Correct me if I'm wrong, if someone knows. What if the next 3 to 4 days is just a chop? Now it could get to the 20-day. Maybe it fills these gaps down here. Maybe it gets to 210. I don't know. But I will tell you this. If you short it at the highs and you're not trading around your positions here every once in a while, again, you're leaving yourself susceptible to counter bounces that are not, you're not leveraging the trend, right? Like think of this as a 10-minute chart, right? You're acting, you're moving around. Well, again, day trading on the, like swing trading with a day trading kind of mentality, meaning like extremes take profits. Roll profits into future other options or trades. Like that's where you again, because you're not getting paid. Like again, money is not real until you get freaking paid. And I'm just trying to warn people. Like, and again, and shorting is not easy. It's not the guaranteed easiest trade, right? And shorting is not a long-term trade, right? Depending on names, maybe, but overall the markets, some of the leaders. Well, again, I think the leaders might get pounded. Amazon. We talked about this 100-day chopping around. Look at this, man. Pray for a 190. Pray. Meta has earnings, I think Tuesday coming up. All right, well, we talked about getting into the gap. Okay, this is where it gets incredibly hard again, though. And please take note of this. Going into earnings, position squaring might get people to do what? Short cover, sell quickly. Do you see the psychology of why this is in? And you have the buyout blackouts. Do you see how this is a recipe for interesting, like choppy action? And it's the summer, light volume, right? Just make sure there's no questions. Light volume. Do you see how it puts position to make the game rather choppy, sloppy? Again, August is usually pretty crappy, but if we're down July into August, well, maybe a little bit of August is a pop or a chop. And again, I can't tell you anything for certain, but as I've done this long enough, again, if you believe every day is just absolute end of the world or absolute straight line up move, you are a freaking idiot. That's going to the casino and going, I can't lose. And then you slap down some money and they start taking you slowly. That's the name of the game, y'all. I'm not mad, just trying to tell the same thing to the same people all the time. Netflix 100-day, SMH, green. Again, these wicks here's the thing. Don't be surprised by chop, but also don't be surprised by near-term oversold conditions that lead to what? Rallies. How long is the rally? How much? That is only you to know. Caterpillar, I was looking at this one. This thing got kind of whopped pretty quickly. Hit the range, bounce back. Earnings coming up probably next Tuesday. Again, I know some of these companies, I know their earnings dates because they're always the same day of the week every earnings season. But I just don't know the exact date. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Because again, I'm added some financial shorts today. I'm I think that's the easy one. 8-10 day, I don't know, 43s. FAS at 1930 or 930, 920, and 915, I think. Added a little bit. Again, I have some cash. I took some profits. I'm I'll play a little game with the financials. Because again, I think they hold all of the freaking risk. I've told you guys that. If the market's really about to get murdered, banks got issues. Carry, we talked about this one's been a tricky dicky, right? I was looking, I'm it's going back up. Okay. IWM, oops, sorry. IWM up $5. There's some gaps, maybe near 60. Oh, it's so hard to see. Let me open it up. Do we fill it? I don't know. Junior bank earnings, not good. Again, mortgages, not good. Mortgage industry, not good. I was talking to a friend of mine who's been a highly successful mortgage broker. He's I'm where you at, man? He's I thought last year was tough. He's this year is even rougher. I'm yeah, it's one of those things where it's settle in. This roller coaster is not going to be easy. Speaking of, again, if you're looking to buy real estate, there's going to be opportunities, in my opinion, with the rates. CCJ, this is another one. Again, I'm please leave it the fuck alone. Excuse my language. Again, I hate when Goldman upgrades the highs. You got to run away when they do. Because they're selling to their customers, y'all. XBI, little bounce. Again, chop. Range highs, was looking at that one. Keep an eye on stuff. Again, I could go through this, but I think the more the thing that I would be concerned about is just the mindset. I don't want people to get confused here and go, well, you said the market's going to crash or the market's going to go down. I'm crash is a hard word. I said the only way, the feds would actually tempt cutting early if it did crash, not calling for a crash. I genuinely enjoy the slower down moves or the moves that, right? Those are easier to trade because if the VIX spikes very quickly, it's all hands on deck. You got to take profits. You got to be there to watch it. You got to watch people puking. This action, I don't mind it. Especially if it's just the first birthing pain of what could be an epic election season / slowing economy / gift from the gods, trading gods. The Nvidias and the tech are done. Because again, this is what I'm telling you. If you want to believe in the commodities bull run that's coming, you need tech to crash. And when I say crash, it's just they're not going to come back to it. And it's going to go the way of Cisco and all these other stocks where they go into a decade-long consolidation pattern where Nvidia prices in literally the future of the whole world at perfection. And then they have to actually execute it. And then there's speed bumps along the way. And there's competition. And then their pricing gets worse. And then they overbuild. And then next thing you know, have to cut prices again. It's a reoccurring cycle. Which again, will it happen? I don't know. My guess is yes. Because it always does. It's just when. Look at the IWM. Anyone watching that? Multi-day ranging. Cisco still isn't anywhere near its peak. No, of course. Here's the IWM. I was just stuff is getting a little rojo. Saw some rojo coming. Railroad tracks. But here's the thing, right? We had them earlier in the day, but now you actually took out the low. So this to me would say that you're coming right back into, I don't know, somewhere around this 221 area. That's where the volume is intraday. 222. Oh, another. Did I lose you guys? Okay. Yeah, a little bit of down. If not, we'll see. Again, I'm not trying to get too crazy here. Because, again, we just went from overbought to oversold real quick. Some of these names, again, tech got blasted. Right? Look at AM Dizzle. AMD. AMD's nuts. Zzz, pow. Do you think it's due to bounce? Even then, look at this. You got a 3-day, like, dead cat bounce. Meow. Did you hear that dead cat meow? They don't. Oh, dead cats meow. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Tesla. I mean, here you go. Dead cat bounce. Meow. Right? Gets whapped on earnings. Okay, not surprised. Imagine everyone bought puts yesterday. Market maker's like, yeah, bitch. You guys buy them puts. Yeah. We're going to rally this thing tomorrow. Watch. Doink. Oops. Did CRM have earnings? Notice it's up 11 points. Just like a meow. Yep, meow. All right, meow. Any other thoughts, questions? Because again, I could roll through some more stocks, but I don't think there's a lot to say at near term. I mean, some of the commodity names are lagging. The tech names had a really strong bounce off the lows, which again, the volatility's up, so you're expecting big moves, right? Volatility means bigger ranges. That's basically what it means. You got metals not performing. You got the dollar flat, bonds getting bought ever so slightly today. You got the market rallying off of filling the gap, certain moving averages. Okay, well, near term, this is the thing, and try to post this morning in the Discord room, like, please, I hope you're taking some profits today, because this might be the day that you take profits, and now we just wait. Maybe the market, and here's what is going to really piss off some people who just got to be aggressive. What if the market does nothing until the FOMC meeting next week, and all of a sudden, here we go, the stupid rumors, oh, we're going to cut rates. Oh, did you hear? They're cutting rates. This guy came on CNBC. They're cutting rates. And I'm telling you right now, don't believe the shit. Not happening. 6.7%. The Fed Fund futures, not happening. No. And unless the market gets dumped more, then the rumors will grow. But I think was it Fed Chairman, blah, blah, blah. Let me see if it'll show the comments he made. I'm pretty sure, what did he say? Which one was it? I don't know. There's so many of these jerk-offs now, but one of them said I think we need to start cutting rates. Of course the market liked that. But it's interesting. If they're really cutting rates, why are commodities getting slapped? Well, I can't remember which one. Someone will, if you want to DM me or drop chat, one of them said it this morning. They're like, oh, we think maybe it might be smarter to cut soon. It's like, okay. You guys are just all talking. It's like, man, I mean, anyone else have, again, this is me just ranting. Does anyone else be surprised if you ever went to Congress and you walked around there and you didn't realize like they all had like 8-screen computers and they're all like high-speed trading? And that's where like institutions are now setting up their freaking war rooms. Like that's what I believe now going into Congress. They don't really do anything, right? They're just all sitting around like trading. They're watching this recap. Hey, Nancy. Good to see you. Thanks for leaving a comment below. I appreciate the donation. That's my thinking on that. Man, DKNG said 35s somewhere in there. I would retest. Close enough for government work. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns? Like I said, because I genuinely do believe that's what's going on probably in Congress these days. Like they're just spend more time trading than anything else. What else? They don't do shit. They're all crowded around Nancy's desk. Yeah, like, it's like, was it, not Dirty Rounds, kind of, what's the movie? Trading Spaces, right? Like, they're like, you know, you're thinking about the commodity pit, the orange juice pit, and they're all yelling around screaming. Instead, now it's all Congress folks, like, running around screaming through Congress halls. Oh, buy NVIDIA! Buy crowd. Time to short CrowdStrike. We're gonna have a hacking tomorrow. It could sound like Seinfeld. We're gonna have a hacking tomorrow, guys. What are you doing? No, they listen to Insider Infos too, so they know what. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So there's all like trade, and it's like, wow, all these guys, all these congressional people are like, I'm never gonna get rich just being a senator. I got to figure out how to make some money. Oh, I love all the donations. Talking like a Southern senator from the state of North Carolina. We got to get my donations, boy. Well, that's great. You can scrape a little off of that, but why don't we get into trading? I've been sitting on the ARM committee for 30 years. I know what they're going to do. Every move has to go by my desk. We're going to make money, boy. You ever heard an accent like that? If you haven't, welcome to the South. Certain parts. But, yeah. I might just wrap it up. There's nearly any other questions? Again, I hope this has been helpful. Again, like I hope this is all about mindset, right? If you didn't take profits this morning, what are you doing? And I'm not saying you had to like take everything. And if you did, okay. I mean, that's your style. Go ahead. But if you're just going to sit here and go, well, the market's going to go straight to the ground. What if we're wrong? And this is where you always have to have in your mind, like, what if you're wrong? Gaps fill? Oh, I appreciate it. Hopefully it's not easy. And this is what, again, if anyone is new, like earnings typically is bullish. And the reason why it's bullish is because CEOs, whatever companies, under promise, over deliver, and they're always going to try to paint a rosy future. And people get excited about that, right? Whee, yay, so much fun. No, not guaranteed. So, all right, I'm going to roll out. If you have any questions, again, I just leave a comment below. Hit me up. Again, I'm pretty accessible. I mean, I think one of these guys, Randy, hit me out of nowhere and was like, talked to me for like 2 hours. I was like, all right, I'm going for a walk. I don't mind. I was either going to listen to a book or chat. He had some questions about this, and how to get loans without income and how to do something. I'm like, gotcha, bro. And if I don't have you and know those kind of like, I got people that I trust thoroughly to answer these questions. Because again, it's better to give you to somebody who can take care of you versus just trying to pretend I know everything. I don't know everything about everything. So, all right. You guys have a great day. Appreciate spending 30 minutes with me. Let's do it again soon. Later.